It's Friday. It's Straight Facts. I'm joined by the gruesome twosome. We got man like Staffy, the biggest top red on the planet, and we have the Dom Husam, who shamelessly was celebrating winning the Carabao Cup this week after saying that you shouldn't celebrate. And I haven't seen you yet slag off your players for having their nation's flags around them and dancing.
First of all, I'm happy to be here. You get me. Big up to you, Terry. This is how we start the show off now. Directly. He wants to fight. You get me. Big up to you guys in the chat. Make sure guys are hitting the like button. Make sure guys are subscribing. I promise you, and this is a promise. First of all, KJ, can you get your shit together and make a new intro? I've had enough of your crap already. Can you just make a new intro, KJ? It takes 30 seconds. I need my face to be there for like 75
I'm actually going to say it. He goes after Monday. He's off for like nearly 4 weeks because he's getting married and going on his honeymoon. But I'm going to make it a task. He has to have that done before he goes away.
Come on, Monday, KJ. We don't have time. We need this is the moneymaker right here. It needs to be on the intro for a bit.
I get a haircut before every show, hoping this is the time I get clipped by KJ, and then I'm still not on it. KJ, I'm running out of money. Barbers are expensive in New Jersey, bro. Hurry up, please. Hurry up, please.
Yeah, I get the intro ready. And I want to make a promise to the people, to the Terrace audience. This is going to be one of the best straight facts show of all time because I have got a lot of shit to say today. If you're a Chelsea fan, stick around because someone's going to say the truth about your football club. If you're a Man United fan, have hope. You get me? Shut up, have hope when I cooked them on the Gerrard take. And, there's a lot for us to unpack today. Today's show is going to be one hell of a show. So smash that like button, subscribe, share the video everywhere, and big up all the lovely people who always watch the Straight Facts. Let's rock and roll.
Yes, I'm excited about it as well as I know what some of your takes are going to be. Well, I don't know the reasons behind them. I don't know the why behind the what's. But yeah, let's do it. But before we go any further, I want to say to the audience, you'll see a QR code below me. That is my brand new channel for a brand new podcast I'm launching. It's called The Squad. It's going to be one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. Him and I are going to be doing a show once a week. Plus, there'll be additional content on there as well. Get subscribed to the channel now. Get it done. You just go there now. Subscribe. There it is. There's The Squad. Go to the channel now, get yourself subscribed to it. I know you're watching us now, but it take you 10 seconds to literally go there and subscribe, or do it at the end of the show. Very excited to launch that when it's coming soon. There can be a few other changes as well. You're going to see me in some different places as well soon. So not locations, just different channels. So very, very excited about what we have coming up for you all. But I wanted to start off by playing a little video clip. I need to play a little video clip at the beginning of this. And it's not cooking any video, I promise you, because Husam, when it comes to the flag comment, I looked all week. That video has been deleted. I know it. I know you've asked that. You've got someone that video. I don't even know what channel it was on now. You've made someone put that private because I couldn't find it.
I'll send you the link right now so you can clip it. You think I'm ashamed of that? I'm not ashamed.
Okay, we'll do it. But I want to play this video and get your opinions, boys.
Question stuff about me that, in my opinion, they should already know. The problem is when people start to believe him. You're unprofessional, you're this, you're that. He goes out too much, he got too many tattoos. Whatever it is, it's when the public start to believe what they're reading. That's where the issue comes in, and that's where it makes me a bit upset that they are allowed to basically just paint a picture of someone whenever they want. Write the facts. And then don't carry on. The story's not big enough with the facts, that's what the problem is. They understood the path that I've been on and the journey, deals and contracts that we've said no to, compared to the deals that we've said yes to from United. And now all of a sudden, oh, he's a money grabber. Like, no. Let's go back to when it started. The publicity, they want the attraction, they want people talking about anything as long as it's got their name in it. And a lot of the stories that I see about me is pretty much that. You know, there's one or two facts about the situation and the rest someone's just gone off on their own and continue to feel like I'm there yet. We have to find a way to get there. Because, you know, I feel like we have got a stronger team than what people like to put out there, and yeah, Everyone can have bad days, but the thing that we still haven't got is the consistency of winning back to back.
So he's done the podcast. Obviously, everyone's waiting for it with bated breath to come out and see what it is he said. But he's being accused of shameless PR. He's being told to shut up. But at the same time, he's being criticized for having a private life. He's being criticized for his haircuts. He's being, by the way, I thought what he was wearing was banging. But he's criticized for what he's wearing. And we've seen other players in the past defended for that. Staffy is a United fan. There's a lot of outrage today that Rashford has done this podcast, done this interview, and is speaking about the criticism he's received. What's your personal take on it?
I see nothing wrong with it. I see it's causing an outrage. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, but I personally can't relate to it. And I don't blame him for doing what he's doing. A lot of people have seen it on Twitter. Oh, Rashford's PR is in better form than him, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I get that. But so is every other top player. And you need to understand that at the end of the day, he's been the poster boy for how many years in this United team? He's always going to get scrutinized when the team's not doing well, especially a season like this when he's not playing well. But he is right. There's a lot of lies that are being told on his name. I personally am not a big fan of Rashford's footballing ability, but everything else that he gets criticized for, I never understood it. And I think I said it on the top 6 before, Terry. I said this is the same fan base that criticized him for paying too much attention to politics, aka feeding kids and not playing football. So I'm not surprised by everything else that he's been getting hate for. His tattoos, his when we lose a game and they're like he went to the grocery store with his Rolls Royce. Why do you care if he went with a bike or a Rolls Royce? Like is he meant to not go to the grocery store after that? Oh, he went and had a drink in Belfast. Okay, would you have said the same thing if we were winning? It's only highlighted because we are losing. And that's the one thing that he always suffers from because it does come with the territory. He is the highest paid player in the club if I'm correct, or one of the highest paid players.
Yeah.
So obviously he's always going to be under more fire. But I don't agree with the whole involvement of the personal life into what goes on the pitch. Because I keep saying if we are winning titles and if he's performing well, no one would say anything. So you as a fan, if you criticize Rashford, you're just doing it basically because you're not happy with the performance. But then it just shows me that you never had a moral issue with everything he does outside of the pitch because we're winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, where was all this hate last year? I didn't hear any Rashford slander last year. Last year, I heard that Rashford, oh, he deserves his new contract. I'm glad we didn't sell him to PSG. All that stuff, Ballon d'Or nominees and all that. But now when he plays bad, they start highlighting things outside the pitch. And listen, there's a lot of things that he said that I agree with. And I would be upset too if people question my integrity towards the club. When people are saying he doesn't care for the club, he cares for the money, blah, blah, blah. I was with Griggs today, shout out Griggs, and he was saying he came out and said that he had a 2-game trial with City when he was a kid. And he told his mom, I want to go back to United. And this is, and when you look at City, by the way, the time that he was in the academy, City were on the rise. That was during the Sheikh Mansour takeover and all that stuff. So he could have been a part of a very successful organization. To question his love for the club and all that stuff, and that like now they're mocking it, saying, "Oh, mank board and bread and all that." I just think it's crazy to me. It's really crazy. I understand people are upset that we haven't been winning, but the involvement of his personal life and the way he spends his money and the way he dresses. By the way, listen, that LV, that Louis V he was just wearing right there, I buy that too. So if you're sitting there and you're hating on his drip, it's because you probably can't afford it. You know, if you're hating about on him going out with girls and all that, it's probably you can't draw girls. That's why. If you're hating on the whips that he's driving and the trips that he's taking, it's because you probably can't do that as well. And this is me, by the way, not falling for his PR. This has been my stance before anything happened. When the whole Belfast thing happened, by the way, I was one of the few that came out and didn't criticize them. Even though, Terry, you know, it fell perfectly in my lap because I could have used that against the Sancho situation. Because remember how much I defended Sancho. Everyone who defended Sancho came out real quick to criticize Rashford. I didn't do that because I don't agree with the concept of it anyways. So yeah, I support Rashford on this one. I don't need to be his biggest fan on the pitch, but I don't agree with it.
As a United fan, I agree. I criticised Jadon Sancho on the pitch for Man United a lot. And I feel justified in the criticism I gave him, especially that day when he pulled out of a 50-50 tackle on the edge of the box. I'm not about that. I've criticised Rashford for things this year and spoke about how if he can't perform, it's time to look at selling him, because it isn't about not respecting him. It's about me respecting the club more. And yes, I think after games, we've all at times said things we probably regret about many individual player. And I understand that. So I'm not sitting here professing to be innocent in this, whiter than white, never made a mistake. I'm not being a hypocrite. So I've definitely said things like, oh, you know what? I've watched it back. Bit too angry on that one, if that makes sense. But what I'm seeing in this Rashford situation is such narcissism from his detractors. So, you know, like you watch a nature program and you got the lion that's aging and he's run the pride for a long time, and the young bucks, you know, they've been avoiding this king for a long time because they get busted up. But you know what? He's got a little bit older and he's a little bit ill and he's not as strong as he was, and they now take the chance to go in there and beat him up and make him leave so they can run it. That's how I think what people are doing with Rashford. When he's playing well, they skulk away in the corners and they hide. When he's vulnerable, when the club is vulnerable, when there's problems, they come out. But they do it under the guise of, I'm trying to make Man United better by having higher standards. No, you're trying to win an intellectual debate. Staffy doesn't rate Rashford, but he isn't being a hypocrite based on what he's probably defended the likes of Paul Pogba and Sancho and Martial against. He isn't then becoming a hypocrite by attacking Rashford for the same very things. And I try my best to be like that too. So with Sancho, I kind of in the beginning sided with the manager, even though I said he shouldn't have said it publicly. But then when the club started leaking stuff about him, making him eat his lunch in the car, I was straight on Sancho's side, because that's too far. And he hadn't done anything bad enough to be ostracized like that. And it's about maintaining those standards as an example. And for me, all I'm really seeing is a lot of people that have never rated Rashford, or they're upset because one of their favorite players in their eyes was mistreated, and they see an opportunity to essentially get some revenge, or win the intellectual debate that, yes, I was right, Rashford weren't good enough. 5 years I've pushed this. It's nothing to do with wanting Man United to be better per se. It's about being able to say I was right. So I do get where Rashford's coming from. I personally wouldn't have done it if I was him, because it's actually going to put a bigger target on your back. I say this to people that moan about the abuse they get on social media. I'm like, don't show the world that you're getting horrible DMs, because more trolls will DM you horrible things. Don't react. We said it to Sava on these shows. Don't react to what the chat are saying. They'll do it more. It's kind of a pantomime. So I don't think Rashford should have done it, because I think it could make the pressure magnify for him, as an example. But am I outraged at anything he said? No. I might not even watch the episode when it comes out, because in reality, all I really care about is that he's performing for us on the football pitch. And for me, it's almost just like rage porn for his detractors, really, and it's nothing to do with Man United anymore. It's like Love Island, you know what I mean? And two people having a scrap. It's like a reality show. It's crazy to me. I don't know what you think about it, Husam, as an outsider looking in.
I think Rashford needs to get over it, to be honest with you. It's just like, when you play for Man United, you're going to get criticized, you're in the public eye. When you play for Liverpool, you're going to get criticized, you're in the public eye. Same thing with Arsenal. The reason why people are criticizing him and talking about all this shit is his inconsistencies on the pitch. If he was consistent, no one would say shit. Same thing with I can go back to my own player, Mo Salah, at the start of the season. When after he signed the new contract last year, people were like, oh, he signed a new contract, and look, he reminds me of Aubameyang. And then he shot everyone the F up when he started performing consistently, delivering consistently. Now no one cares if Mo Salah has an afro, blonde hair, or any type of...
That doesn't highlight the hypocrisy, Husam.
Hear me out. Let me land. You cannot interrupt me in this topic specifically, because they'll take out of context. Thank you. Isma, wallah, they will actually take it out of context. Don't make me say something I don't want to say. Hear me out. Now, see, he fucked my train of thought now. Okay, 1 second. Let me land. He needs to get over it. When you play for Man United, you're going to get criticized. Look at it in the realm of YouTube. I was actually going to go there before Terry went there. Look at it in the realm of YouTube. When we have our face in front of the camera and there's thousands of people watching, we will always get held accountable to opinions that we show, opinions that we display, and people want us to be consistent. So you're going to get criticized. And the bigger you get on this platform, the more you're likely you're going to get called out, the more likely people are going to say shit about you, the more likely people are going to do reaction videos on you. This is just how life works. Now, I don't think people should be talking about his haircut. I don't think people should be talking about the way he dresses. I don't think people should be talking about who he dates. I don't think people should get involved in his personal life. That's where I think people overdo it. I don't think people should take something so positive like, giving children meals and turning it into some sort of meme material. I don't like that part. Like, if people are struggling to get food, I'm very happy that he's helping them. So that is all good. But at the same time, if you're getting criticized because you don't perform well, and people are like onto you because if you look at Marcus Rashford's Man United career, I think he's had 2 great seasons. He's had about 3 okay/good ones, and he's had about like 2-3 bad ones. So it's normal for Marcus.
He had 2 bad ones. He had
2 horrible ones.
2 horrible
This
ones.
one and
I'm counting this one. I'm counting this one too.
Yeah. This would be the second. The first 3 seasons were like good for his age, getting better. Then he had a brilliant one, then a bad one, then a brilliant one. Look like he's having a bad one again. Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, there is an element of inconsistency there. Now, with Marcus Rashford, let's say, for the sake of argument, let's all be real about this. Let's say Marcus Rashford had 15 Premier League goals and 7 assists, and he was like up there, and Man United were in 4th place right now, and they were doing really well. Will he do this interview? No. Will people criticize him? No. So at the end of the day, footballers' job is to play well on the football pitch. And I've already clarified. That's why I didn't want Staffy but again, before I made that clear, I don't want people to mock him for his appearance or anything good thing he does. But at the end of the day, when you play for Man United, you're going to get criticized. You're in the public eye. It's just how it goes.
I actually understood the criticism that people, I wouldn't even call it criticism, but the concern people had about his sort of the work he was doing for feeding the children, not directly feeding the children, but when he was sort of calling out the MPs and challenging them, because of course it then became political, and people that support that political party were then coming for him. And I understand the concern you may have, going, well, is that going to distract him? Is that going to make him play worse? Is that going to have a detrimental effect on him? I can understand that element, because it was a big thing he was doing. It was a great thing that he did, an amazing thing. The fact that he went to places like Anfield and was getting applauded demonstrates to you what a wonderful thing he did for the country. At the same time, though, when you start challenging MPs and it becomes directly political, I was someone that said at the beginning, go for it. Then I got to a stage when he was playing badly where I thought maybe you've got to step back a little bit, because as he says, he's an introvert. He's not a very confident person in terms of like confrontation talking. He's an introverted individual. So I was a little bit concerned about him, because first and foremost, if you want to keep helping people, you've got to stay relevant on the football pitch, because it's who you are as a footballer that helped you do what you did. So it becomes a bit of a cycle. So I understand that concern, but yeah, the clothes and the, what he does at weekends and everything else, going and getting drunk and not coming to training the next day, I have a problem with that. That is directly unprofessional. No, I don't care what KJ does in the evenings, as long as he's at work the next day. But if he's doing something at night that's then meaning he can't perform properly at work, I think, again, that needs criticism. But look, he's got to start. But I also agree with you. There's an element of you've got to wipe him out. You've got to move on. And we don't probably say that enough in today's society of, okay, but you've got to get on with it. You've got to push through it. You've got to persevere. That is what creates the strength, is going through these things. But yeah, some of the outrage I've seen surrounding it is just, it's so over the top. This here says, fans, rightly or wrongly, only care about results. They don't. See, but they don't know, Patrick. They don't all. Let me rephrase that. Some care about being right. How do we know that? Because when things start going their way, they move the goalposts. They now say like you're someone who doesn't rate Rashford. And I say, well, what would he have to do for you to change your mind? If the answer is he could never change it, that tells you it's not about the team winning. That tells you it's about them being right or wrong on a player. And that's more the issue. They don't see them as people, but commodities. Fans have forgiven players for worse because they were playing well, and hated players for less when they were in bad form. That element, Patrick, is absolutely spot on, my friend. Luke Skywalker here says, big up the panel. Thank you, my bro. BS, if someone went on a night out until 5 a.m. and called in sick the next day when they were performing crap, of course it is going to be treated differently than someone who was doing well. Again, no one has denied that bit, Johnny Sins. But people saying he's a money grabber, when listening to it, I got no reason to disbelieve him on this. It looks like he was offered a lot more money by other big clubs, and he said no to it to stay at United. If you've been offered 600 grand a week to go somewhere else and you turn down that money for what? By the way, he's earning great money. That's not what a money grabber does. A money grabber says, I'm going with the money. and they follow it. So I think there are elements of things they say that are wrong. Doesn't mean all the criticism is wrong though. Balance, my friend. United are going to win tomorrow. I bet Rashford gets a brace.
Unfortunately, it won't count though. It won't count because we don't play tomorrow. We play on Sunday. So whatever game we won tomorrow won't reflect.
How do you? I'm going to go to Husam first on this. How do you see the Manchester derby going?
I have a vision. It was the same vision I had pre the Chelsea game. You know, they all laughed at me pre the Chelsea game anyway. So you can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want. You can all cry all you want. Man United are leaving Etihad with something. They're leaving the Etihad with something. Manchester City, the results don't reflect the performances whatsoever. Even Luton opened them up. They scored twice. They had the most undeserved 3 points of the whole year away at Bournemouth. When Bournemouth had 5 or 6 clear-cut, I'm saying, clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities against Manchester City, and they just missed them all. Kluivert, Ouattara, Sinistera, I can mention hundreds of them. So many chances they had, they missed all of them. Brentford, the only reason they scored is because Ayer slipped. I'll be honest with you. United are getting something. The reason why United are getting something is there's news that Bruno might be injured. So it might be a Mainu, Casemiro, McTominay midfield, which means there is no hoof ball. And the Manchester United front three, Anthony, Rashford and Garnacho. All three of them, nothing special. All three of them not in the best form. However, all three of them have pace on the counter-attack. You know, just before Staffy gets triggered.
Don't say there's pace there.
Garnacho's quick on the ball. On the ball, he's quick. Off the ball, he's slow. No problem. So these three right there are going to counter-attack Manchester City. And I think Manchester United are not only leaving the Etihad with something. I think Man United are going to go to the Etihad and win. The reason why I think that is 100%. I think Manchester City have a lot of cracks. Yes, I think Manchester City have a lot of cracks. Defensively, they haven't been performing well. They haven't been performing well at all. At all, they haven't been performing well. Haaland scored the worst 5 goals I've seen in a game my entire life. I've never seen worse 5 goals in my whole life. If I were to do a comp of that Luton game, honestly, there is like I'll never bring a kid. Like my nephew wanted to become, or my cousin wanted to become a footballer. I'll never bring him. Go like, yeah, come watch Haaland score 5 tap-ins against Luton because that ain't going to help his career. So yeah, I think Man United are going to get something. I think Man United are going to win at the Etihad. I think Varane is going to be a key in this game. Dalot is going to be key in this game. Amrabat, Mainu is going to play a massive role. All this, I think, at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, Man United have gotten results at the Etihad when people least expect it. And they've beaten Manchester City multiple times. And they've gotten draws multiple times. You know, so I think Man United will get something. Garnacho scoring at the Etihad. Mark my words. Let's go.
Some of the stuff that you said, I honestly don't think you could be any more wrong. First of all, you said a midfield of McTominay, Casemiro, and Mainu's not hoofball. If that's not hoofball, I don't know what it is. If anything, I actually want hoofball to on Sunday. The one game that I want hoofball, you want to take it away from me. No, Habibi, I want hoofball on Sunday, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't want no 2-1-7 or 3-1-6 against City. I want us to sit back and limit their spaces in behind and actually go back to what used to give us results that you just mentioned. You said we got results in recent years at that. You know how we got it? We got it playing hoofball. We got it with Rashford cutting in from the left. We had it with Daniel James cutting from the right. We had it from Martial playing down the middle. Unfortunately, we don't have any striker going into this game. So that's going to be the issue. But I actually do want hoofball. And let me tell you something. Bruno has never missed a game due to injury. This guy was in a cast before, and he played a game in 3 days. So he will play on Sunday, I promise you. I don't care that he limped last game, but this guy will take injections, and they'll play him in next game. No problem at all. He's going to be playing on painkillers, not other injections. We're not talking about that type of injections. You know, sorry, Pogba. But anyways,
Staffy, I want an apology from you because I've had enough.
There we go.
In my opinions, and then I get it right. You have to apologize.
What have you gotten right? What did you apologize when I got
the Chelsea draw at Man City? There you are.
I love when you do this. You predicted a different play style than what I predicted. And they actually played the play style that I said. They got a result, and now you're trying to claim it. They got it in a way that you didn't predict. So why would I apologize to you?
So you're claiming the play style. I'm claiming the result. You can
it
take the
doesn't
style.
matter.
I'll take the ball home.
No, but it doesn't
I got
matter.
the
No, I'll
result.
tell you.
Doesn't matter.
Listen to me. This is why it doesn't matter. I can look at a game and say this is how a team is supposed to set up. Now, I didn't predict the Chelsea result because I didn't think he was going to be smart enough to do that. I said if he does do it, they'll get a result. So technically, I was right. You thought a result in a completely different way. So actually, who's right here and who's wrong?
If
But
Man
anyways,
United win at the Etihad, full stop. Fuck the style. Will you apologize?
why would I apologize? Why does everyone always look an apology?
There
Everyone
you are.
always wants an
There
apology.
you are.
Okay.
Point
If I
proven.
do that,
Chat. Staffy exposed
here's the
once
difference
again.
between me
Right
and you.
here, right now, in
Oh
front of
my
the
God.
Terrace audience.
Stop
If Man
screaming
United
and let
win
me
at the
finish.
Etihad and okay, let me add another stipulation. If Man United win at the Etihad and Garnacho score, will you apologize? Yalla.
I'm not going to apologize to anything. Stop doing this.
There you go.
Because if people
There
are
you
going to
go.
start asking me for apologies, I can go back to every Terrace video I was on since the beginning. And honestly, bro, at this point, these guys are going to, I'm not even going to just get an apology. They might have to write me a letter and post it like on
Dissertation.
Twitter or something. Because if I go back to everything me and Terry debated and I said, Terry, give me an apology, Terry would give me an apology speech right now. Because there's so many things that I got right that I never go back and
what?
claim, oh, remember
What would I be apologizing for?
Popcorn in the chat.
the
What would I be
beginning.
apologizing
The
for?
beginning of
Staffy, say it
everything.
with your chest. Call him out.
Hold on. The whole idea that we were going to be a better team this year based on the signings we made, I was one of the few people who said, no, we're going to be worse. And you told me, don't show your bump too early. Well, guess what? I did show my bump early and I ended up being right.
No, I understand you're right, but I did think we'd play better football this year.
And that's why I didn't hold you.
Because in pre-season, the first couple of games when we were doing that, that was against Leeds. We played well, and we played really well against Arsenal, and we had that conversation. And all I meant by "don't show your bum too early" is like hold that back in a little bit. Like don't
hear you.
It's like a lot of people showed their bum with the gym. Don't want him; he's going to be awful. They're having to slowly start backtracking. It's like just don't always speak. That's all I meant by it.
And I agree with you. And
sorry, though, bro. 2-1.
This is what I'm trying to say. I don't go back and collect too many receipts because this is how football is. You get a lot of shit wrong anyways. So if I go back and actually claim to get a receipt from everyone, we'll spend all day doing that. But back to the game, because this guy made us completely go off the game and talk about something else. Here's why I won't apologize. Because I've been also the same person who all along was not happy with the results. Sorry, was not happy with the performances, regardless of the results, because I knew it wouldn't be sustainable. This game, including the last two games, all United fans went into these games with no confidence. We were worried against Forest, and we were worried against Fulham, and we're going to be worried on Sunday. Now, if I tell you right now on paper, a team has one loss in 9 games, in the last 9 games, is that a good form or not? On paper, regardless of who the team is, everyone would say, yes, that's good form. This team, whoever this team is definitely doing well. Everyone should be confident. We go into the Forest game, everyone expected a loss. You know why? Because we didn't have Højlund. Actually, the Fulham game too. So how are you telling me before the Fulham game, we had 6 wins and 1 draw, and people were going into Fulham not confident because of just Højlund? So one player defines how much you believe or don't believe in a team.
No, but
and then
Fulham
you go
is different,
and then,
Staffy.
listen to me. Let me finish and you'll get my point.
Because
Then
Fulham,
we go.
You're not the underdog.
Yeah, baby, it doesn't matter. People were still not confident in that game. That's the point that I'm trying to make. You go to the Forest game.
Pressure on Man United this Sunday? There's no pressure.
Yeah, listen. That's you're not understanding my point. Listen to my point before you answer. We go into the Forest game. We lose Maguire from the game before. So don't tell me all of a sudden United fans rate Maguire. So now we didn't have Højlund, and now we don't have Maguire and Højlund, and people are all of a sudden shitting themselves going into the Forest game. I'm like, hold on. If you truly believe the football that we were playing was sustainable enough for just 1 or 2 players to be missing, and then you replace them with 1 or 2 players that fit the system right away, and we're going to play well, no one would have been worried about the game, but they were worried. Now going into the City game, City barred the Luton game where they scored 5 goals. Yes, obviously that's a lot of goals for Haaland. Sorry, they scored 6. They struggled against Brentford, only scored 1 goal. They struggled against Chelsea, only scored 1 goal. And they struggled against, Bournemouth, and only scored 1 goal. So this is a team that is not actually, bar the Luton game, is not actually in form. Now, why are you going to a team that's struggling to score goals when you are on this recent form and you're not confident? And I'll tell you why they're not confident, because they never believed. They never believed that the results matched the performances. When I did the whole top red thing, is because I wanted to mock it. I wanted to show that I'll listen to you. No one wants to listen to me? Fine, let's not listen to me. The performances are great. The results are great. Now let's go into every game being confident. There's a reason why they're not confident. They see the results and they know every game is in isolation, different than the game before. The performances are never consistent. The results are never as consistent, and no one sees a style of play. If you see a style of play, you know you're going to be able to implicate it against lower teams and hopefully against bigger teams. I'm not saying you should approach a Forest game like the same way you approach a City game, because obviously the quality between the two is astronomical. But the reasons they don't believe, it's not just because of one Højlund injury. It's not because of a Maguire injury. It's because they don't trust in the way that we play football. Now, you go to City, give them the 20 points that we're, 20 shots we're averaging every game. We concede on average 20 shots per game. Now, you go give that to City. They don't have Awoniyi shooting at you. They don't have Elanga. They don't have Origi. They have Haaland. They have De Bruyne. They have Foden. And this is why everyone else is shitting their pants, because they know they go to the Etihad with the same way that we've been playing football, and it's going to be a cricket score. So this just shows me from the beginning that no one actually believed. Everyone just wanted to be, yes, I'm the top red. I'm the one who's going to say top 4. All of a sudden, you lose one game to Fulham and top 4 is off. I didn't know that 3 points puts you in a race or takes you out of a race. If Liverpool lose the next game, are you saying Liverpool are out of the title race? No, you're going to be upset, because you're going to be like, you know what? These are 3 important points that I need before I face City and Arsenal. But I lost 3 points. That's going to hurt my race. You're not going to say I'm out of the race. These fans, the minute we lost one game, all of a sudden we're out of a top 4 race. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen one result put you in or out of a race. So yeah, I rambled on for too long. My point is just to show that these fans never believed going into these games that we are actually building onto something. Because if it was the case, we wouldn't have been feeling the way we're feeling into Sunday.
I listen. I agree with you. I want to make a case for us to win. I do. And listen, if we were playing better football, with how easy it's been in recent games to counter-attack against Man City, I'd have a little bit of confidence. But our midfield gets so exposed. The holes in our midfield, if we're like that on Sunday, it could be 6, 7, or 8. The only chance we've got of walking away without being embarrassed is if we set up in how we did against Bayern Munich in the last group game and how we did against Liverpool at Anfield. And we are super defensive, super tight, barely any gaps, and we shithouse a result nobody's expecting. Genuinely, that's the only way I see us doing it. Now, if we do that and we stop City from scoring, there's always a chance of nicking it on the counter. That does exist, and I understand that. But I don't have faith that we can be rigid enough, solid enough, and too hard to break down. I just don't personally think we have
Amrabat or Lindelof. That's going to be
a left back. Exactly.
No, they're going to be on Foden / De Bruyne side. Whoever is playing left back for us next game, prayers for you. This is going to be the hardest game probably of their career. Can you imagine Lindelof having to interchange between De Bruyne and Foden?
We've conceded the most amounts on shots at goal this season in the Premier League. That's the crazy thing. Even the relegation teams, they concede similar to what we are. It's awful. Again, I want to be. I don't want to. I want to big my team up. I want to say, come on, we can. Someone in the comments a minute go, Terry, you are a hypocrite because you like Arsenal more than Man United. No, I don't. I love Man United. I've got no love for Arsenal. But I praise Arsenal more than I praise Man United because they are better than us. How can you expect me, even though I love the club, how can I praise my team more than Arsenal when they're better than we are? That doesn't make sense. I could go down the typical YouTuber route of just saying nasty things about all the rival clubs. But I'm 38 years of age. It's boring lying. It's boring lying for banter all the time. Every now and then you have a bit of banter, but doing it all the time. There's certain guys on Twitter are saying everything they tweet is a joke and not serious. And I'm like, you're not bored. Anyway, that's just me. Maybe I am boring. I don't care. But yeah, I just hope we don't get embarrassed. Like genuinely right now, we're so poor. The football's so bad. I'm just going into the game Sunday hoping that we don't get embarrassed. 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. You really are convinced, aren't you?
Yes, I am convinced. Because
he only predicts against you only predict against City in top 6 games.
City are not strong.
And we're strong.
If I'm convinced, can I explain myself, please?
No, but you're saying City are not strong.
Why I'm convinced? Do you just want to fight all the time?
First of all, stop giving it the big, and I'm just asking you a question here, okay? I'm just saying, you're saying City are not strong. Are we strong? That went right over Terry's head.
Sorry, I was reading comments. Sorry. I was reading comments from the viewers.
Okay. It's okay. No, I'm just saying. You're saying because City have not been strong and we've been strong. We actually got
Okay, let me
depleted and we're
explain the
not
logic.
strong.
Let me explain the logic. City
Go ahead.
defensively have been getting counter-attacked to the
I
point of
agree.
no return.
I
Every single game. The reason why I'm saying this is in the Bournemouth, who have significantly lower quality than you, whether you rate your players or not, your manager or not, Bournemouth Football Club do not have good players. Bournemouth are average. The definition of an average club is Bournemouth. Bournemouth Football Club created, I'm not talking about chances. I'm not talking about someone passed to someone and he shot. I'm talking about clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. I'm talking about Kluivert in front of goal. I'm talking about Sinistera. I'm talking about Ouattara off the bench. I'm talking about multiple opportunities. I actually could name all 6 or 7 after the game. I've forgotten them now. I've named the 3, 4 that I can remember. And like when you look at Bournemouth and when you look at Brentford and when you look at like even Luton, despite they conceded 6, all of these teams, Chelsea, bro, who me and you agree that they have a shit team, we have all successfully counterattacked Manchester United to the point of no return.
City.
I cannot sit up here and think that the team in 6th in a derby with no pressure on them is not going to be able to counterattack Manchester City. Manchester City's defense this season have been absolutely dreadful. This is actually one of their weakest defenses I've seen. Forget the numbers. I'm talking about on the eye. The problem is sometimes when players come up against Man City, when they get in front of their goal, they just shit the bed, to be honest with you. I think with Manchester City and Man United, I really don't believe there's any pressure on Man United. When the whole world is expecting you to lose, like Ten Hag is not going to lose his job because of this game. Like the Man United players aren't going to get heavily criticized because of this game. They were going to get criticized because of Fulham at home. They got criticized because of Bournemouth at home. They get criticized in games like this. But if everyone's same thing with the Anfield game, you saw how they play with no pressure, just absolutely park the bus, did not allow Liverpool to create opportunities. Now, I recognize that City's creativity is better than Liverpool's creativity. So City will also create chances. I recognize that, no problem. I'm not like egotistical or anything. But when I look at Man United's counterattack and the pace and power that they have on the counterattack, they are capable of creating chances. The only thing that is making my confidence like 1% less, okay, not for 1%, like 10% less, is the fact that more times this season, the Man United front three are not making the right decisions in the final third when they do get the ball. That's the messed up part. But I think United are going to get something, to be honest with you. And I'm actually fully predicting them to get the upset this Sunday. I really believe it. And I look at the Man City defense, and it's just the indicators are there.
Let me just correct you. We don't have pace and power on the counter because you don't have Højlund. You mentioned Anthony earlier. I'm not even gonna. When you said that, you mentioned Garnacho. I'm actually not even gonna mention Garnacho. Anthony. If you think Anthony's a good transition player, I don't know what you've been watching. This guy actually kills every counterattack, and Terry will tell you the guy that hates actually running down the line. If you tell him, look at this line, just run, and I'll give you the ball, he's literally going to stop. And if you give him the ball, he's always going to kind of cut back to his left. He's actually the opposite of a transition player. If Højlund was there, I would hear you because Højlund is very good at drawing the defenders out. At least Rashford can make these runs in behind.
Anthony will be right wing back.
Right wing.
Rashford and Garnacho, who's going to be?
I mean, he's just going to play so he can defend. I hope you understand that. Like Anthony's playing 100% so he could track back. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it'll be there. Look,
outside of Rashford running down the middle, I don't see anything else.
I hope you're right though, Husam. Back to people calling me out for the Arsenal stuff. Mike here says, but Terry, you don't praise City and Liverpool as much as Arsenal. That's the issue. So there's a few things on that. Depends how long you watch the football terrace. So it's about the journey of the team. And I've called City the best team in the world on at least 3 different occasions over the last 8 years in terms of during a period of time. I called Liverpool the best team in the world when they were the best team in the world 3 to 4 years ago and praised them hugely when they won their league title. The difference was when I praised those teams when they started getting... So when I started praising Liverpool in sort of 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 as they were on the rise, there was no pushback against it. When I started saying, wow, look at this City team, they're amazing, there was no pushback against it. I say, wow, this Arsenal team is getting really serious. And my only main prediction in the last 2 years about Arsenal has been they're going to become title contenders. And the pushback against it is crazy. So I think it's more about you not hearing it. And then this one's an interesting call out. It says Terry calls Arsenal mentality monsters when they get a late winner, but when it's United, Casemiro saves United. Again, you're comparing an apple and a piece of chalk. Arsenal are generally speaking playing very controlled football, barely leaking any attacks against them, very hard to break down. 2 years now, almost of really high level performances, and they've grabbed some wins in the face of adversity. So when you look at the overarching picture, ironically, the bigger picture at Arsenal, the future looks bright. Man United are playing poorly and snatching a last-minute winner. Happy that the win was there, but there is very little sustainability in poor performances. So the fact that that even needs to be explained is crazy to me, my friend. This here says, I fear for a Premier League scoring record. I don't have to be that bad. What's the scoring record? Like 10 goals or something?
9-0.
Staffy, back your team. Man United can defo beat City, is what Jimbo says.
By the definition, I am a top red, so by definition, I do back my team. I'm just
Hold that, Staffy.
I'm brought here to actually analyze games and give my opinion. So if you just want me to say from the rep, oh yeah, United might get a result, 2-1 United, whatever, then we'd move on in a minute.
That Jim, that's Kate's husband. I think he's just having a bubble. I think he's having a bubble with you.
Okay. I was gonna say that would ruin the show. I would have a 1 minute take. It would have nothing to talk about for the rest
and cry. Sam has to be the funniest trash talker on YouTube.
No, he's not.
I don't trash talk. I talk facts.
Don't gas him,
brother. Welcome to Straight Facts.
Staffy was doing impressions of you the other day. He was killing me with them on. When he sent me a voice note, he was doing your voice. It was great.
Staffy's racist.
Zerior.
I don't say there, bro. I say there. I roll my R's, not my TH's.
Bro, every word he uses 2 R's.
That's an Egyptian thing.
Someone put this in. I don't know if this is going to get me cancelled or not, but I thought it was funny. We could rename the show this. It's the Terrace of Arabia. Oh, it was funny.
That's like the movie, The Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence of Arabia, yeah, but the Terrace of Arabia. I like it. Add Mo onto the stream, and there we go. Where's Saad from?
Morocco.
But Saad knows as much Arabic as you do, so
I was gonna say you probably know more Arabic than.
Yeah, maybe I do. I think I know. Do you know what it is at school? Got taught swear words, isn't it? It's just swear words and how to say offensive things, isn't it? Like every white boy at my school. This isn't Arab. I don't know what language this was, but we were taught by some of the boys at school to say "Deli ma banchod," which I think it means your mum has sex with your sister or something like that. But
yeah, that's Urdu. That is not
Urdu. That's the one. Urdu. Yeah, that's it. And I forget what language it was now. But yeah, you used to get taught by kids out of different languages all the bad things to say. Never anything nice. Do you know what I'm saying? United will win 3-2. I hope so.
Come on. Oh, shit. Halftime Hooks agrees with me. I'm wrong. I take everything back.
See, this is more evidence to why I am right to say that I shouldn't be feeling confident, because Halftime Crooks is coming out and saying this. Listen, Halftime Crooks, as I told you, bro, I bought the beard kit. I'm going to match your beard very soon, but your football takes are horrendous. That's one thing I'll always be superior.
Do you draw that little bit on there? Do you draw that bit? Like, do you use a pen?
No, it's my beard. No, it's my beard. It's shaped up. I just got a haircut like 2 days.
I used to work with a guy in the bank. I'm not going to say his name in case he's watching. And he used to draw some of his beard in. Now, this man was in his 40s, late 40s. He used to draw his hairline on with a pen, like a thingy pen. And I just used to find myself staring at it like I was a little kid. It's like, bro. When I got my transplant done, he rang me up, goes, please give me a link up. So I did. I hooked him up and he went and got it done. But it was like, why are you drawing? Like, I didn't like being bald, but I wouldn't draw a bit. I wouldn't get pen on my head. You know what I mean?
Someone last week on the Straight Facts, I want to see it in the comments. They're like, because I had a haircut 2 weeks ago, something like that, and they're like, "Oh, Staffy, your hair's you're gonna go bald like Terry in a couple years." And I was like, "That's fine. I'm gonna hit him up for the turkey link that he went to." An issue at all.
And this says apparently United is like a woman with hairy armpits and no teeth. Who said that? Also, tell these guys why I think PS18 is overrated. Who's PS18?
POCH'S. Also, a woman with no teeth is not really necessarily a bad thing.
That is haram, bruv. That is haram. Do you know what I'm saying? That is haram.
This is halal. This is halal Straight Facts. We don't say this.
AI predictions. Liverpool only draw to United and West Ham. City draw to Tottenham and Arsenal. Lose to Liverpool and Arsenal. Draw City, Wolves. Also Arsenal, sorry. Draw with City and Wolves. Standings. Liverpool to win the league. But that's AI,
that's
bro.
Supercomputer that predicted Arsenal to win the league last season.
I was going to say, luckily football's not playing.
Yeah.
Boys, Pochettino. We ain't spoken really. Bottled it at the weekend. Chelsea fans want him sacked. Talk to me.
Can I start, please, Staffy? I have a lot on
Yeah,
my
you
chest.
did say you want to speak about it. So
Yeah, I want to speak on Poch. You know, I'm so guys. Me and Staffy agree. Do you understand how much, how shit your club is to make Staffy and Husam agree on a football take? That's the wild. You know, I just want to say, I actually came to a realization yesterday. I made my point clear on one of my streams yesterday. I asked someone to do a Satad Ziad. He used to come on the terrace as well. I asked him to make a United Chelsea combined 11. He proceeded to put 8 Chelsea players in a United Chelsea combined 11. You know,
Hey,
I've
say it out
actually
loud.
realized the biggest problem.
Can you
The
say it out
biggest
loud
problem.
because so Terry can know what's the
Oh,
combined 11?
his combined 11 was Onana, Gusto. He went, I think he went Colwell and
Varane and
Varane,
Cowell. He didn't put a
Caicedo,
left back.
Enzo, and Palmer, Jackson. I think he went
Sterling.
Hoyland
Sterling and Hoyland.
and Sterling. So that's the team that he went. I said no left back. So you know what I find real funny? Chelsea fans actually really think they have a good team. Chelsea Football Club fans actually look at their team and they think we actually have a good team. And this is the thing that pisses me off with these Chelsea fans. Like, you speak to Don, he tells you like Mudryk is better than Martinelli and has higher potential, and then he breaks it down for 7 minutes and he's still wrong. If Martinelli is one dimensional, Mudryk is no dimensional. Let's just get that out of the way. You speak to these Chelsea fans and they actually genuinely believe that they have a good team. And I feel like they keep blaming the manager because they have that Abramovich mindset. It's PTSD, but like in a good way, if you would like, because they had 20 years of success. Now they can't be the normal football fans that the rest of the world is. The reason why Chelsea Football Club stink, the reason why Chelsea Football Club suck, it's Todd Bowley, it's Igbali, it's all the people beneath him who have made horrendous decision after horrendous decision after horrendous decision, signing 20, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old kids with no experience whatsoever and bringing them together to try create a team. And then you bring in Mauricio Pochettino, who's a seasoned Premier League expert professional. He's been there, he's done that. And somehow blaming him for why Chelsea suck right now is funny to me. And the story of Chelsea is always the same story. And the game against Leeds proves it. Because the game against Leeds, they played like shit, but they won the game. They're still moaning. The game against Liverpool, I was already giving, by the way, I know we haven't done a show since then. You can ask Staffy this, Terry. I was already giving the well done to the academy graduates speech. I fully thought we were going to lose. I saw Gallagher hit the post. I saw Gallagher miss a one-on-one with Kelleher. I saw about 3, 4, 5 clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities all missed. I sat there and I literally gave up on that game. I fully gave up. And Chelsea Football Club ended up losing that final. You look at Chelsea right now, and Chelsea fans come and tell me, but Husam, we're not an 11th place team. Based on what? Based on your potential 3, 4 years from now, or based on the here and now? Name 1, 2, 3, 4 incredible Enzo Caicedo performances this season. Name 3 or 4 incredible Colwell or Disasi or blah 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 games this season. They don't exist. What have Enzo and Caicedo done that has warranted that price tag? And it's funny because, you know, Chelsea fans will tell you, Kobe Mainoo's only played 12 games. Yeah, you signed Enzo Fernandez for 110 million based on 6 games at the World Cup. The only reason you paid 150 million for Moises Caicedo is because Liverpool Football Club came in for him. Now, of course, there are Chelsea fans in the chat who are like, Husam, Liverpool wanted Caicedo in the summer. Staffy broke this down perfectly. I think it was a week ago when he was like, Caicedo was the final piece for Liverpool. When you're the final piece, you are worth 150 million. Case study Declan Rice, perfect example. Declan Rice was bought for 105 million because Arsenal Football Club believed that this is the final piece that's going to lead them to a Premier League title. Liverpool Football Club believed that Moises Caicedo is going to be the final piece leading them to a Premier League title, so we were willing to pay 115 million. That's not the same as starting your rebuild and paying 115 million for a Brighton midfielder who's had one good season. It's completely different. Completely two different worlds. Chelsea Football Club has been ruined by Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley has ruined the Chelsea culture. Igbali has ruined the Chelsea culture. Chelsea Football Club were a winning football club my entire lifetime as a teenager and as an adult for 3/4 of it. They used to win, sack manager, win again, and then sack manager, and then win again. And that formula worked, and that formula was successful. This guy comes in, destroys all the foundations of Chelsea, decides to start a youth project at Chelsea with Brighton people in charge. There's a reason why Chelsea are in this position right now, because they're close to Brighton. That's the Brighton mentality right there that's showing in their team. The Brighton mentality is crystal clear to see in this team, because these owners and these people who are in charge of Pochettino are the reason why Chelsea are in this place. And by the way, let's get something out of the way right here, right now. Me and Staffy, and I know I speak for him, will never ever claim that Pochettino's faultless. We recognize Pochettino's made mistakes. Everyone, the biggest advocate for Poch will tell you Poch has made mistakes. But to sit here and claim that it's Pochettino's fault for where Chelsea are right now is absolute lunacy. I can name you 5-6 games this season in which Pochettino has coached wins for Chelsea where they failed to deliver. That Nicholas Jackson finished last season. How many times, last game, sorry. How many times he had the opportunity to do that this season? Mudryk, how many times he had the opportunity to do that this season? Gallagher, how many times he had the opportunity to do that this season? Countless times. The City away game, Chelsea could have been 3-4-0 up in the first half alone. Alone in the first half could have been 3-4-0 up from a game where pre-game Terry done shows on the terrace where none of them were confident. All of them said standard City win. And then they come back post-match and they still criticize Poch. You have the Abramovich mentality. This is your issue. When you realize Chelsea Football Club are a new football club, not because of Poch, not because of you lowering your standards and all of that shit. It's because of Todd Bowley. If you are a Chelsea fan who wants your football club to be successful, you all need to be outside Stamford Bridge protesting Bowley out, Iqbali out, Win Stanley out, and the other guy, Stewart, out. If you say all of these guys out, then you can claim Poch is not good enough. But at this moment in time, if Jurgen Klopp himself, if Klopp or Pep done a tag team and took over Chelsea, they still wouldn't make Chelsea a top 4 club with this current team, because they're young, they're inexperienced, and they're crap, and they're overrated, and they have so many shit underperforming players. It stinks. Even the player that they brought in that was supposed to be experienced, been there and done that in Sterling, even he is inconsistent. He got locked up by Bradley at Wembley. Bradley's like his son's age. Tells you all you need to know about Chelsea Football Club. So Pochettino should not be sacked. They could lose the next 5 games, and I would still say Pochettino should not be sacked, because the players are shit, and it's the management above Pochettino who has ruined Chelsea. People need to wake up. Thank you.
So I like that rant. That was presidential.
What a great speech. What a great speech.
Vote
Great
for
speech.
I'll say this. I'll throw this in. I don't think you're wrong in every area. So I want to make sure I state that in the beginning. I do agree that the people that run the club are ultimately to blame. I do agree that there is a lot of inexperience in the squad. And I do think some Chelsea fans overhype not the potential of those players, but where those players are now. They do. I see the way I see Caicedo do some good things in games, but I'm not seeing the same Caicedo dominating midfielders as we did at Brighton. But that conversation very rarely happens. It gets shut down really quickly. But I still think Poch needs to be sacked. And I'll tell you as to why. Maybe it's a bias from me because I don't rate him as a top manager. I think he can't handle the pressure. What he did in extra time against you guys is for me, it's an example of his cowardice, and I believe you'll see more and more of that over the course of time. I believe he is a coward of a manager. His mantra is, I'm going to try not to lose rather than I'm going to try and win. And that's fine. You know, there's a level for that. But I do think as well, you can Chelsea fans could do everything you're saying, and they'd be right to. But I think they can also sack this manager. I think this manager, and I'll kind of throw your point back at you by saying this. You're right, Todd Bowley and the people that are running it have done a bad job. One of the mistakes they made is hiring this manager.
Disagree.
So for me, I understand they've got to change a lot more than just the manager. So I think it would be stupid of Chelsea fans. I think Don is wrong. Don essentially, he doesn't quite say this, so he'll call me out for it.
He's always wrong.
But Don implies if we had the right manager, we'd be cooking pretty much. And then give us a few extra, like more experienced players. And I actually think you could make him admit, if you pushed him hard enough, I think we'd be back near a title race. I think that is... No, I think he believes that because
He
No,
thought
I
Chelsea
agree
would
with you.
finish third.
I agree with
he
you.
thought-
Staffy,
he
before
thought
you go,
that-
can I ask Terry a question? Terry, can I
Go
ask
on,
you?
go on,
I want to
go on.
ask you a question. Genuine question. I know Staffy wants to go into stop, but I have to ask you this because I want to get you in where I'm going with this. We're in the Carabao Cup final. The whole world is watching. I'm Enzo. I'm Caicedo. I'm looking across from me. I see Bobby Clark and I see McConnell. On a reel. Fuck every word Mauricio Pochettino says. It does not matter what Poch tells you. At that moment in time, if I see two kids with no beard who have school tomorrow across from me on the football pitch, and I don't pull my socks up and I play and I try something, McConnell, who's a kid who looks
Hang
like
on a minute,
Tom
though.
Lippman's
Hang
cousin,
on.
in
Okay,
the
sorry.
115th minute, dribbled past the entire Chelsea midfield. What's that got to do with Pochettino? All this cowardice and all this stuff is to just scapegoat Pochettino because they don't want to. You know why? Because Don doesn't want to come here and say Enzo's crap, Caicedo's crap.
No,
We overpaid. They don't want to
so
say that.
I agree that some people are doing that and they're putting everything on the manager. It's not all on him. But I've heard you talk about how Jurgen Klopp's teams play. They're an image of him, aren't they?
Yes.
So if you have a manager like Pep, a manager like Klopp, a manager like Fergie, where their clubs are a mirror image of them, for me, the logic works in reverse as well. When a team is cowardly, it's a mirror image of the coach. And I do believe that this Chelsea team is currently playing. And by the way, I think when Graham Potter went into Chelsea, I think he went in there and had an identity crisis, which is a sign of a low confidence. And the team was a reflection of that. There was low confidence. And I think that, typically speaking, we had a Chelsea fan that came on the other day, Carlito, that thinks that managers are only accountable for 20 to 25% of what a team achieves. And I think that's wrong. I think that the great managers are hugely influential on what a club achieves. Equally, I think they're hugely influential in a team being bad. Now, some people think, Terry, but you're being a hypocrite because you always say the owners at Man United are a bigger issue. Yes, they are, because they're the ones that are hiring these bad managers time and time again. It becomes, I'm more focused on that. And that's where I'm at with Chelsea. I think the issue is Todd Bowley. We agree on that. We agree that there are players that need to be replaced and players that need some experience around them. Yeah. But I also think at the same time, Poch is a problem. But where we agree, I think we agree on every point but the sacking of the manager. Where I do agree with
why
you.
Do you think he should be sacked? Why? Based on
because I don't think he's I think you can fix everything and he's still gonna trip on the final hurdle. I don't think he's good enough. So
let me get in.
So yeah, so just my final, but he's shown to be a coward. The problem is now is he's already. I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I just think he's already tarnished. So they need. It sounds mad because they're $1 billion in, but they need to start again.
100%.
And I think it's easier to start again with a new manager.
They need to start again, but it's the manager's fault.
No. Hold on. Terry is actually right. Terry's actually right to a certain extent, in my opinion, and you're also right, Husam, in a certain extent. And I'll tell you why you guys are both right in your own ways. We all agreed right here because Terry, even though he wants the manager out, he never said if the manager leaves, they become a top 14. So he disagrees with you on the manager in or out, but he doesn't think what Don thinks or most Chelsea guys are saying. Most of them, unfortunately, they're deluded. And I'm going to say it right here, and I said it to Ziad to his face, so I'm going to say it here again. Ziad is the new era Igal with Chelsea. Remember Igal 3 years ago when the whole process with Arteta was starting, he was the most deluded one. Ziad is the new Igal for this era, but he's Igal with Chelsea. He's completely deluded. But instead of backing the manager, he's completely backing these players. This man said the minute Poch leaves and you bring in another manager, he used hypothetically Klopp, who's a 1% manager, by the way. That's how rare it is to get a good manager like him. Would take him into top 4 right away. They're not going to get Klopp anyways. So you're telling me you need a Klopp to be a top 4. You're not going to get a Klopp. So you're telling me even if you get rid of Poch, you need a very good manager just to become a top 4 team. You're not going to get a Klopp. So what does that make you if you get rid of Poch? Now, here's why I agree with Terry. I feel like Poch is held accountable to a certain extent because at the end of the day, you do look at this team and you do see that they reverted back to what they were doing from preseason or the beginning of the season. The way they were trying to control the football, the way they were trying to play football is very dissimilar to what they're doing now. Right now, they're not approaching games the same way they approach it in the beginning of the season. They have the same crop of players. So by definition, these players have regressed and the style of football has
If you want to
regressed.
bet, Don is
What-
asking Terry for the link.
Probably if he does, bro, I don't care. I'll say to him if he's here. But
I
here's the
bet
thing.
my liver he is. Bet
But here's
it
the thing.
right
You can get
He hasn't messaged me. He hasn't messaged me, to be fair.
if you regressed on the pitch, that by definition is the manager's fault. Where I disagree with Chelsea fans, and I feel like this is where Terry's with me on this, is that the manager's being held accountable, but you still need new players because the players are not good enough. That's where all three of us disagree with Chelsea fans. These players, in my opinion, are just projected to be good players. Most of them haven't proven
Yes.
anything. Caicedo, as an example, I've seen
Keyword
Caicedo be good at Brighton, so I understand why people think he's going to be good. Enzo was good with Argentina, but I've only seen him 6 months in Europe before he got sold to Chelsea. That's your fault that you paid 100 million for a player who barely played in Europe, but he is projected to do well. Some of these players have proven that they were good in other systems. Collectively, they've never proved to us that when you put them together, they are a top 4 team. And this is why I sit here and disagree with Chelsea fans, is because there's no proof. If this Chelsea team was better than what they are, the manager came in and they regressed, like what happened with Mourinho a few years ago, because they were champions and then they regressed. Conte came in and made them champions again. It was the same crop of players that proved to us already that they were a title contending team or Premier League winners. There is no proof that these players are as good as they think they are. After you spend $1 billion, you have Petrovic in goal. After you spend $1 billion, you have Nico Jackson leading your front line. After spending $1 billion, you have Conor Gallagher as your 10. After spending $1 billion, there's so many deficiencies
After
still in
spending
this
$1
team.
billion, your best player is a City Academy player.
That's what I'm trying to say. This is why I agree with you on that part, that I don't rate these players as high as other Chelsea fans rate their players. But they're always going to be Chelsea fans, so they're always going to hype up their players. However, the manager is also letting himself down. Like Terry said, the way he approached the cup, the what's it called, the extra time, the fact that you tried to sit back against a bunch of kids, that is by definition, like, that is embarrassing. Like, you can't be doing that. But you're also right for saying, if I'm Enzo, bro, I'm like, bro, I'm a World Cup winner. I'm looking across. Who are these kids? I can cook these kids.
Yeah, and I think two things.
Pull
To be
your
right.
socks up and play.
I look at sticking with the manager. I look at sticking with the manager this way. I'll give you an example. Say I'm a single dad, okay, and I'm a bit lonely. I want a woman in my life. Of course, I've got 3 kids. If she wants to be my partner, she's going to have to also be a mother to my children, because in the long term, not day one, not on the first date, that'd be weird. That'd be really weird. But like, say I'm dating someone and I like her, but she's not great with my children. Just because I really want to be with someone and I really want my kids to have a mother figure in their life because I think it's important, doesn't mean I should stick with the wrong person. You have to get the right person still. And otherwise it can become a problem. And I just don't think Poch is the right guy. My theory on Poch, I believe, is, for me, it's proven, and is that I think if he went to Everton, I think if he went back to a club the size of Tottenham, if he goes to those the teams that are bigger than the mid-table size, but not as big as us, I think if he goes to those teams, he thrives. It's Unai Emery, like an Unai Emery, as soon as he's at a club where the expectations are massive, I think his pooper goes. I think he bottles it.
He's a floor-raising manager.
Yeah. So I think he likes to punch above his weight.
Allow him to raise the floor, is what I'm saying.
But no,
but
but
he's not at the
7
moment,
months-
Sam.
Chelsea,
7 months into the £1 billion project.
but Chelsea are too big for him. Chelsea are too big for him.
They need players. You both sit here right now. This is my problem with the argument. So this is where, so we've agreed on 75%. Let's get to the 25% we disagreed on. My problem with both your logics is as follows. You guys both sit here after 7 months into a £1 billion project and say Chelsea need players. Imagine I told you, if anyone, you both are United fans. 3 months into the season, if any United fans told you Ten Hag needs more players, you'd both said Ten Hag deserves to be held accountable. Why? Because Ten Hag signed these players. £1 billion. £1 billion.
Yeah, Husam, but we already agreed that these players are not good enough.
7 months in, you're saying they need new players, which I agree with. I agree they need more players. All these things are based on projections. All these things are based on Caicedo is going to be unbelievable 4 years from now. Enzo is going to be unbelievable 4 years from now. Blah, blah, blah is going to be great 3 years from now. deep what I want to say that genuinely proves it's not Poch's fault. Think about it. They spent £1 billion and their best player is a City substitution bench academy player. Just think what indicator does that show?
I do understand that, but at the same time, so again, I think me and Staffy agree with all of your points, barring Poch. Poch is still accountable for not developing any of these really talented young players at all.
Palmer.
Well, Palmer came in. Palmer came in, and day one was really good. He's part of signing him, so he deserves praise for that. But one swift does not a summer make. They actually in the summer in pre-season and start the campaign were playing nice football. And I said on record a number of times, you know, they're looking a little bit dangerous. I'm a bit worried if this keeps getting better. And the regression from them till now is massive. And a lot of that is to do with the coaching, playing people out of positions. And I think that happens. Now, in terms of practical solutions, I agree. I think that they need to, the Todd Bowley's as well have got to remove themselves from running it. I think the people they've got in so far from the Leipzig and Brighton have done a bad job. They need to go and buy some experience in there. I also think they need to change the manager and bring somebody in who's better than Poch. I just think they need to go and do all those. That's why when I say they've got to start again, if you're getting rid of a lot of your, in my view, if I think you've got to get rid of the majority of your board and football decision makers, if you need not a huge squad overhaul, but probably 5 or 6 out, 5 or 6 in, and I think you need a new manager and coaching staff, that's pretty much starting again, in my opinion. So I sort of feel like that's what they need to do. Yeah, pretty much. Just saying, you know what, that's all gone wrong.
What does that tell you if they're hitting the reset button?
Sorry?
What does that tell you if they're hitting the reset button? That the philosophy has failed.
But part of that philosophy was hiring Poch. So yes, it's fouled. Clear it all out. Start again.
Yeah, but
Okay,
what's realistic, Sam? You have to start again. I understand that we're saying it failed, but do you stay with it or do you try again? You're not gonna get rid of Bowley. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't even think Bowley needs to go because Bowley is such an ambitious owner. Bowley needs control. He needs someone to tell him, hold on, you're the sugar daddy, but let me tell you how to spend this money. Don't just spend it on dumb shit. Let's just spend it on something that's wise. So you bring in someone who can control and be like, listen, we don't need to buy every best youngster in Europe. However, we can buy 5 youngsters, but let's start adding experienced players. There's this player on an expired contract in this Premier League team. There's this player on, I don't know, on this many ages in the Premier League. Let's bring them in with the ones that we already rate, like Enzo, Caicedo, blah, blah, blah. And then from there, we can build a proper team. That's what you need. And a part of that is also Poch, because as I said, this is why me and Terry agree a little bit more than you, because you're doing the opposite of what Chelsea fans are doing. They're saying, get rid of the manager, we'll become a top 4 team. That's ludicrous. But you're also saying, don't get rid of the manager and they'll become an improving team.
That's what I'm saying.
It does. If it's not the final step. No, but that's not the point, Husam.
Give me one example. Give me one example of a manager who comes in.
Maybe just listen to me. Okay, I will. But let me just finish my point. The difference between you and Chelsea fans saying, not all of them, saying, sack the manager, we become a top 4 team or a top 5 team. That's wrong. Okay. However, you're also wrong for saying not get rid of the manager, because you need to get rid of the manager. But the minute you get rid of him, you don't say, hey, look, we finally got rid of the cancer. We're a top 4 team. No. You do that. And now you get another manager and start getting better players, because you still don't have a decent striker. You still don't have a competent 10. You're always arguing about Gallagher. Maybe you still need another 6. You need to reinforcing that defense. So they actually need to do more work after Poch, but you still need to get rid of Poch, in my opinion. And as in terms of what manager I get, I don't necessarily know, bro, because I don't know who's available in the summer. There's a lot of good managers out there.
There's no upgrade on Poch. That's another thing.
There's 100% an upgrade on Poch. There's 100% an upgrade on Poch. You just don't know.
Tell me, give me names.
Okay, so if the sporting manager goes, the Girona manager goes, the Zerbi goes from. If any of those take a step up, get a bigger job, and they stop. No, I'm just, and I never had an issue with Potter. And look at what they said. You remember in the beginning of the season, I kept saying what? I kept telling you Potter wasn't the issue, and now they're saying this at the end of the season. Remember, Don said that last show on the top 6.
Potter wasn't the issue, but somehow Pochettino with a way less experience point is
because the squad is different. Though.
Okay, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Let's go percentages. I'm giving you 3 options. Give me percentage of blame, and ask Terry the same thing. Percentage of blame, 100%, right? Percentage of blame, directors, players, Poch. Give me just percentages.
Directors are given the biggest blame because they recruited the players and the manager. So I'll give them the biggest blame. But I'll probably go like 50 directors, and then the other 25 is Poch and then players.
Yeah, I'd go
Split even.
same breakdown.
Split even.
And I think all three areas need change. By the way, I do think Almarin, and I do think De Zerbi, and I do think, yeah, I think both of those two. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're better than Poch.
But they're all one of them is going to hit Husam. That's what you need to understand.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. What I base it on is some of it is, I suppose you could just call it. I don't want to use the word intuition because that sounds a little bit too poncy. But watching their teams play, listening to them speak, listening to what people that have played under them say, I feel like they're a better bet. There is still the question mark over them, and I'm not saying they will go there and they'll 100% make it work and 100% win major league titles. There are still question marks. I'm not disregarding that, but and I suppose I'm biased in this because I've always looked at Poch and said I think he's a bottle job.
Yes,
so I already. So that's my issue with it. I'm coming from someone says I'm blinded by the hipsters. It isn't about the hipster thing. It's I look at Poch and I just see a failure. I see if there's a face next to the word failure in football, Poch's face would be there. Remember, this guy lost out a title with PSG. He didn't win the league 1 year there with them, and
he came in mid-season. Have some shame.
It doesn't matter. I honestly think PSG's monopoly of French football is ridiculous. It's not like I just imagine City have got all the money they've got now, but every other club only had had less money than Brighton. There'd be no excuse to not win it. Even if you like halfway through the season, only 3 or 4 points at the top, you should still win the league from that position. Like not winning it when you've got that monopoly, it's crazy. It really
had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, and they tried to blame that front three over him, bro. Come on,
it's a madness. Viewers, look, hit the like button for us. If you don't know already, I am launching a brand new football YouTube channel called The Squad. It's going to be an amazing weekly podcast with one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. Scan the QR code right there. Husam's pointing to it. I'm trying to, but missing terribly right there. Or click on the link in the description. Go and subscribe to that channel right now for us. I don't want you to miss the content when it starts dropping very, very soon. In terms of, I want to speak a bit of Arsenal and a bit of Liverpool this weekend because I've got a theory that I'm basing the part of this title is based on half of what Husam has said and half of the claim I'm about to make, which is why the title of the video is what it is. But I wanted to ask you guys something. How, when this is the description of 5 football managers, has Ange Postecoglou been announced as the London's football manager of the year? You have Richie Wellings on there, who it includes promotion. It includes promotion. I'm a little biased because he's currently the manager of Leyton Orient. That's who my brothers support. They're doing a fantastic job for the budgets they have. You got Mikel Arteta in the last year that was in a title race, topped his Champions League group, brilliant football team, in the title race again this year. You've got Emma Hayes, who top of the WSL, top their group in the Champions League and on course for a treble. You've got David Moyes, who obviously won a European Cup, okay, top their group in the Europa League and are in contention for European places again. And then Ange Postecoglou, he says in a top 4 race in his first season in charge and playing, attacking and fun football. Ange Postecoglou won this. And I am struggling to understand how Ange Postecoglou, for me, when I read all those descriptions on there, I'm cheater. I think David Moyes probably, maybe Emma Hayes. I can understand Richie Wellings getting it. I can understand Arteta getting it, being in title races. How is Postecoglou winning it for playing fun football?
Fun is it fan football is insane.
But for me, David Moyes and Emma Hayes would be my top 2 choices. Then I'd probably say Arteta or Richie Wellings. Like, I don't even mean it rudely about Ange, but he's got me. But I don't understand it, boys.
Is it fan voted or is it like an?
I was gonna ask what is the criteria in the vote?
Because people in the chat are saying fans voted and all that.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is it fan votes? Is it journalists?
Arsenal have got more fans, so they would have won, right? Like Arsenal fans online would have won that easy. I think it's a combination, but still, fun football is winning you awards now. Manager of the year.
Fun and attacking football was actually listed as an achievement. That's insane to me.
That's
You've got
fun.
even when you read Richie Wellings, right? He got promotion to League One after the club nearly went out of business.
Fun football.
Fantastic run of results, comfortably in the top half, punching well above their weight, and then now got an outside chance of the playoffs. And the injury record that Leighton Orient had, the football, by the way, just go on. It's hard to have clips. Leighton Orient play a very, very nice brand of football. I'm a little biased with Richie Wellings because he's a United Academy player of old. He's like in his 40s now, but they play beautiful football. I genuinely think he'd get us playing better football than Ten Hag. His football's fun. Why didn't he win it? And he got a team promoted. Postecoglou has done nothing.
Yeah, it
Nothing.
has to be PR.
It is madness.
It has to be PR because listen, if you list fun and attacking football as an achievement, then I don't know what to say. I really like because that's such a subjective thing to say. Like, what is fun and attacking football? Like, it's just it's not a real thing. You can't put your finger at it. If I say, okay, what is promotion?
You bought it
to
at
League
the
One?
start of the season. Let me not
No,
call you
don't.
out, bro.
You love to fucking do this, bro. Why do you always have to go back to this guy? Loves go back to my
Hey,
takes.
my name's Staffy.
Stop
Age is
doing
so
that.
amazing.
Stop doing that.
You were
Grow
having
up,
just as much fun
grow-
with the
grow
football
up.
as they
Yeah,
were.
and then I say give him an award for it. I didn't say that. So stop, bro. Listen, grow up and stop revisiting things that I said that are completely
Staffy,
irrelevant.
stop giving it the big one.
Listen, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Is Ange doing a good job? Yes. Is Ange the worst thing in the world, like Husam is trying to portray and saying all that stuff? No, he's not.
I
He's
haven't
come
even
in.
spoken yet.
and-
Don't put words in my mouth. Thank you
You've been
very
talking
much.
about him all year. We all know your take about Ange and the Spurs. So let me just say
I've
something.
left them alone.
He
Now that
came
they're
in,
fifth, I've
and
left them
is he
alone.
doing a good job? Yes, he's doing a good job. Is he improving this team? Yes. Is the future looking okay against Ange? Potentially, I don't know. Does it warrant him any individual awards at the end of the year or during the year? Because I don't know what awards are given out in March. I don't know why. If you're giving out awards for fun and attacking football, then let's go back to every attacking and fun manager in the last, I don't know how many years, and let's start giving them awards. Because I was in under Ole at some point. We always played fun counterattack football.
Can I
I
say
was so
something?
happy with the counterattack.
I want to say something though.
He
'Cause
never won anything.
I need to call Husam out here.
There we go. I'm in for this.
Individual awards, yeah?
Do you see why I've always said to you?
No, I
that
don't.
I've always said this is why individual awards for me is not part of my holy quad when it comes to assessing the career of a player. And I'll tell you as to why. Because it's only really in the moment that we realize when someone gets an award, we go, how has that happened? I swear it happened at the Ballon d'Or last year. We were all shocked at certain people's positions. We're like, how the hell has that happened? PR and whatever else. This has happened forever. I always remember being a kid and caring about these awards, and we just won a treble. And most of the team of the year and all the player awards went to players from other clubs. And I'm sitting there going, how can a team that's just is the best team in the world not dominating these awards? And what you realize
They're
is
better as a team. Doesn't mean they're better.
no, but we had amazing individuals that year as well. Like what Beckham ended up like coming second in the Ballon d'Or that year, but didn't win best player in the Premier League. Like it doesn't always correlate. But my theory's always been the same. There's two parts of it. Firstly, it's about keeping everybody involved. When you actually look at who the awards went to last night, they spread it very evenly across the London clubs, so they all stay interested. And they do. Well, I was part of. There's award things that I've been a judge on, and one year I was like, "Oh, this guy's got to be top because of numbers and how great he did." I mean, yeah, but he's won it 4 of the last 5 years. You really want to award it to somebody else? And I really pushed back and said, "No, you've got to still give it to the best." I get at school a weekly award, it gets spread around the class to keep all the kids happy. But with adults, you should give it to the best. If the best manager every year is Pep, but he wins it 10 years running, so what? But what happens with these individual awards is they spread it out amongst teams to keep interest from everybody. That's all it's really about. And I've always felt some awards are warranted and granted and fair. I get that. But there's so many that are not, in my personal opinion. And this is another example where if there's a debate in a few years, people forget what they've said and why he won it. If there's a debate in a few years and it's really close between Big Ange and another manager and people start throwing out all these awards he's won, we've just seen him win an award for playing fun football versus somebody who's on for a quad. So it's flawed as being a really massive reason why someone's better than another individual. Because according to this award, he's a better manager than all those competitors in the last 12 months, which we all know is ridiculous. So, but over to you. What do you make of him? What do you make of him getting it, Husam?
First of all, Terry, don't be shameless. When I have conversations with individual awards, I do not bring up fan voted crap. I don't do that. But like, I actually bring up legitimate awards. The reason why I bring up individual awards is because football is not tennis. It's not boxing. This is the problem. You're completely on the other side of the coin. You're completely on the other side of the table when we're having this conversation, because you bring it all back to trophies. When we're having conversation about two individuals, let's use last season. Perfect example, Terry. Liverpool were crap. Liverpool finished 5th. Manchester City won the treble. No one in this entire planet can claim Jack Grealish is a better winger than Salah last season because City won the treble.
By the way, it's not. This wasn't fan voted. I just went and checked on the website. There's a panel of judges who are ex-pros, journalists, etc. So it's not fan based. This is awarded by professional.
So why are people in the chat saying it's fan voted then?
Well, I'm on their website now, and at the bottom it says the London Football Awards judges. Says the independent judging panel compromises. So there might be an element of fan voting, but there is an independent panel that votes on it. So that's and I get your point. Some awards are won and warranted. Like when Messi's won his Ballon d'Ors, I don't think they're wrong. My point is, we will forget in 10 years that he got this for fun football. And that's why when you just look back and go, but my guy got was put into the team of the year more than your guy. Yeah, my theory is that if Liverpool are having a bad few years, how do you keep Liverpool fans engaged? Well, we'll stick their favourite player into the team of the year more regularly.
But Terry, when you ask me why is Ferguson the greatest Premier League manager of all time, I have no problem including trophies when you're a manager, because it's a different conversation. I include always trophies, difficult of trophies. I like to give everyone the full context. Like, I can use a different player if you would like. I think, I don't want to mention Gerrard because you get triggered. I want to talk about John Terry. I think John Terry is the greatest Premier League centre-back I've ever seen, despite he's an asshole off the pitch. On the pitch, he's fantastic, and I think he's very underrated as a footballer. And the individual awards match what I say, because, as an example, he's the English player with the most appearances in the World XI. That doesn't come out of nowhere. So, as an example, I'm using World XI, not like a fan-voted thing. So it's a thing that matters. So when I look at managers and what they've achieved in the game, I don't look at who won London Manager of the Year and take it seriously. That's something that I will never take seriously.
Can I remind you of something, though? Can I remind you of something with the World XI?
David Moyes, I think, deserves that award. Ange least deserves that award. And I think Ange is very cringy in press conferences. And I want everyone in the chat to just spam mate, just so we can trigger all the Spurs fans. Ange Postecoglou has done nothing special. He's come in, he's played offensive football. And the players who are good have played well, and the players who are shit are letting them down. And the reason why Spurs will never be successful is that bald man that comes to every game. Until they get him out, Spurs will never be successful. Even if they get Jose Mourinho, Klopp, Pep to do a triple threat managerial job over Spurs, they still won't be successful because Daniel Levy runs their football club. That's the reason why they will never be successful. So for me, Ange is doing nothing special. Did he win the Carabao Cup? Why couldn't he win the Carabao Cup?
Can you admit that he's doing well? Not that he's special. Can you admit that he's doing well? Is he doing well?
Okay. He's doing well. He's doing well.
Okay, he's doing well based on what?
I'm asking you. That's the question. Is he doing well?
Because fun football, because he's currently 5th.
That's not what I said. Is he doing well as a manager?
He's 5 points behind Unai Emery.
Is he doing well? Just say yes or no.
5 points behind Aston Villa guys that were in the relegation zone last season. Well done.
What does that have to do with my question, though? You could still be doing well regardless.
They play really fun football. I give them credit.
See how you're avoiding the question. This is why you're disingenuous. And when I come to Spurs' aid, you call me a Spurs fan.
You still think Bissouma's better than Rice?
Yeah, stop deflecting every time. See what you do, bro. This is not a Twitter space, okay?
We're sitting on corner. I haven't done a space in 4 months.
I'm not in a corner. You're in the corner, and you're deflecting.
I haven't done a space in 4 months.
Alhamdulillah, you haven't done a space for 4 months, but you're still acting like this is one. I'm just asking you a simple question: Is he doing well as a manager or not? Because I can make the case that he came in. The team was 8th. Listen to me. The team was 8th. Now they're 5th. So by definition, they improved. You're not letting me finish.
I'm saying he's doing nothing special. They're just playing offensive football. That's it.
Let me finish. See, when I get triggered, start speaking Arabic, and Terry just has no idea what's being said. He's like,
I don't understand the words, but I get exactly what you're saying.
I was like, can you let me finish?
Let me finish in Arabic.
Here's what I'm trying to say.
Sad watching.
Ange, by definition, is having a good season. He came in to a team that finished 8th and was playing pragmatic football that everyone hated. Now he's playing better football. I'm not going to use the fun and attack. I already made fun of that, so you can't claim that I'm trying to use that as an argument. He's doing better. The team is doing better. They're in a better position, and they lost their best player during the summer. Most of us here, if we lost our best player, we'd be like, you know what? Our season is screwed. If Salah left and you guys were doing okay, you'd be like, props to the manager because he lost his best player and he's doing well. Let's be very honest. Kane is on that level. So when we talk about Kane, we talk about Salah, we talk about De Bruyne, we're talking about players that give you about 30 GA a season. So he is that world-class player. And you just won't give him the props to say he's
the question mark. These are 5
Well, I'm answering you because you didn't answer. You kept saying
I didn't ask the question for you to answer. You're the one who said I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm answering the question that you don't want to answer. You're not trying to answer the question.
How can you make a question and then you just say, Husam, let me speak. I have a question. And then you give me 5 statements.
I asked you if Ange is doing well. You didn't answer, so I answered it.
Watch how a question is asked. What has Ange?
How did I ask you a question? You're gonna teach me how to speak English here. I asked you a question and you refused to answer
what
it.
What has Ange Postecoglou done at Spurs that Pochettino hasn't done? Go on.
Okay, so this is a different question. This is and it's such an unfair question because how long was Poch at Spurs? 4 years, 5 years? So I expect them to compete for a league and a
season only. First season only, for not the whole time.
I don't remember what Poch did in his first season. You think I'm a Spurs fan? I don't fucking know.
Top four.
Okay, and was that a good thing at the time? I don't remember. You told me since you want to be so slick about it.
Spurs are currently in 5th fucking place. Staffy, they're not even top 4.
It's such, bro, that's such a lazy thing to say. There was a year that United finished 5th, and we were on more points than a year that we finished 4th. So by definition, we had less points, but we were in a different position in the table. It's such a disingenuous thing to say. That's why I keep asking you. All I wanted to know if you think, what's his name? Ange is having a good season or not, or if he's doing well or not. You're using all these
I answered your
mental
question
gymnastics.
10 minutes ago. You just keep asking it back loaded.
Because you never answered it. Is he having a good season? Oh, Unai Emery's ahead of him. Yeah, Habibi's having a good season. Oh, but remember, Poch, just say yes or no. It's not that hard to say yes or no. We want to know what you think about Spurs.
Okay. I think
he won't answer. Watch.
Is doing an okay job. He's doing nothing special. He has just gotten Spurs playing offensive, attractive football. That's it. There is absolutely nothing special that Ange Postecoglou is doing at Spurs right now. He's just got them playing offensive football. That's all. That's my answer. So it's not yes, it's not no, it's okay job.
Okay. I'll take that answer.
Yeah, definitely not manager of the season worthy. Now, can you answer my question?
I never said that. Nam, what
can
is
you
the question?
You heard my question about the guy that you think should be sacked at Chelsea. What's he done that's different from Poch? Go on.
I told you I don't remember what he did in the first year. You told me he finished top 4. What year was that? I got to go back and look at that year. Who was competing that year? Who wasn't competing that year? What players did he have? Did he sell his best player, Harry Kane, that year? No, I don't remember these things. If you want to have a debate on that, then yeah, at least let me go back and check what year that was.
They sold Gareth Bale at the time. They sold Gareth Bale.
I don't think it was the first year when Poch
Guys, we're going to jump into a few super chats here. Why is Husam moving like he wants Poch after Klopp?
Because he said he would take him after Klopp. He did say that.
Now, do you want me to take you out of context?
Did you or did you not say that?
No, I did not say that. I said out of the Premier League managers. So relax.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton all play fun attacking football. These awards are jokes. Congrats to Big Ange. He plays fun football. Funny thing is, a lot of Spurs fans don't think the football's that entertaining, which is really interesting. Arsenal, I think their football matches they're involved with are, though. Arsenal play fun and attacking football too. Yes, you do, Robert.
No, they don't. Arsenal make me fall asleep. Have some shame and decorum. Arsenal
fans always want to include their team, bro. They always want
validation. Exactly. That's so annoying.
It's like me saying to Terry, "Oh yeah, your hair looks nice today." And someone's like, "Oh, my hair looks nice too." Bro, it doesn't always
Husam could never say that. Like Husam's hair is straight out the 70s, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? It is like a 70s, bro.
Listen, if you come to America for the World Cup, I'll take you to the Puerto Ricans. They'll take care of you.
Oh my, I'm never gonna get
you've got like your haircut and your beard together, like it's like Rolf Harris. It reminds me of.
Operas used to tell me that back in the day. I never I like Wolverine more because he's ripped.
Wolverine, you don't look like Hugh Jackman. What are you talking about?
Yes, I do. Wolverine, you get me. Don't make me bring my bike.
You think you look like Hugh Jackman?
You know who I am, Terry. I'm a power lifter.
Jackman.
Yes.
You think you're like Hugh Jackman?
I'm just saying I prefer Wolverine more than I do Rolf Harris. I don't even know what Rolf Harris looks like. Let me Google that guy. Right
No, it's the you don't look like him. Your facial features, just the hair and the beard. He's dead. He died now. He's in prison. He wasn't a very good man to women and kids.
So
I'm
you're
saying the hair.
wow. I'm not even gonna say it.
I compared you to an awful person, and to be honest,
No, just the hair. The hair.
You maybe
the hair.
deserve it. You
The
maybe
hair.
deserve it.
But yeah, you don't like Hugh Jackman, bro. You don't like Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I definitely look closer to Hugh Jackman than I do fucking.
Yeah, I look like Tom. Look like him. Oh my god.
Come on, Wolverine.
Rob, you need to get new glasses. Speak to Lee Gunner. Lee Gunner
Everyone,
started.
I'm Wolverine in the chat just so we could trigger Terry.
Lee Gunner used to not see Arsenal's process until he got glasses, and he saw it straight away. I think you need some glasses, but if you think you look like Hugh Jackman,
I think you need glasses if you think I look like Rolf Harris, because I just googled them and I don't. Out of shame.
a young Rolf Harris.
I look like Fidel Castro, if you want to go more accurate.
Fidel Castro. Yeah, you do a little bit.
Enough.
I'm starting the anti-Ange revolution.
Be careful, Liverpool. Once Moyes was surrounded by bankers, we crumbled initially. No opposition to topple the United dynasty. Thank you, Akash. Husam is a troll.
I'm not.
Terry, what happens if Chelsea get no Europe? They're in even more trouble. I mean, it's disaster. Chelsea bought potential and expect a finishing act. I hear you. Husam is a dollar store Wolverine stroke Hugh Jackman.
I'm definitely not the dollar store, from the dinar store, and the dinar is the 4th strongest currency in the world. Thank you very much.
ESPN's Mark Ogden can't contain his disdain for Arsenal, gives them no chance against City, 3rd place and way behind City and Liverpool. He said that. I mean, it's not true, but I was going to ask you, so Sam, you think Man United are going to take points off City?
Yes.
I think Arsenal will win on Monday night, but I also think Liverpool will lose this weekend with Klopp's kids away at Forest.
I predicted that too, Terry. I predicted 2-1 Forest.
Szoboszlai's back, Nunez is back, Endo's back, Robertson is back. So I think the team will be a lot different. I think we'll have a much more... The only position I see us playing a kid in is possibly a right back, and that's about it, to be honest with you. So the players are coming back. Obviously, we need to... It has been a lot of injuries recently, but we have to give credit to the kids. The kids have stepped up. Like, you know, the kids have beaten the £1 billion failed, most disgusting sports project of all time.
Blue Bottle Jobs.
Yeah, Blue Bottle Jobs. Yep. Big up Iqbali and Bowley.
Who's manager you back? Yep, that one.
Yeah. And whose ownership you don't recognize, the more at fault. So anyway, when we come to Liverpool, the injured players are starting to come back, which is great news for us just in time, because we play City next week as well. We definitely need Mo Salah against City. We've got actually a irritating fixture this Thursday against Slavia Prague or Sparta Prague. I forgot which one in the Europa League. So that's going to be a massive middle finger 3 days before playing Manchester City. But yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident in my team right now. They've given me no reason to not be confident. Even with some of the kids playing, they've stepped up massively. The one thing I'll say about Jadon Nance is his 3rd finish. There's something that, you know, Terry grew up watching even more than myself and Staffy, which is something we call striker's instinct. That goal is a goal that only a striker scores, where he makes that run recognizing that that ball is going to be played in that area. So I trust my players. I think Forest, you know, ever since, you know, Nuno Santo came and gave them a little bit of a lift, stabilized them a little bit, they've been kind of just inconsistent. I don't think Forest are going to be a tough test for us. I think the game overall will be tough because it's away at Forest and no one's trying to go away from home to Forest. But I think we win this game 3-1. I think we'll be up 2-1 and then we'll counterattack them at the end and score the 3rd goal, and then it'll be curtains. So I look at Forest as a game.
I think you've got a few players back. I think it's the bench, though. I think it's the bench in the sense of, like, when you played Luton at home, it was the perfect fixture when you had that bench. If you score 2 or 3 goals in the first half or early, obviously you'll win. I think it's if you're getting into the 60th, 70th minute and it's a draw. I know that they've done well against Chelsea. I know they've done brilliantly against Southampton, but Southampton really should have been 2 or 3-0 up. You've got nothing on the bench, and it's not. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful towards Liverpool. I think it's just keep delivering. I just think maybe it's going to come to the end of the road, if that makes sense. But if you keep winning through this injury crisis, honestly, I'm going to have to make Liverpool the favourites to win the Premier League. If you win this week, if you keep winning and then everybody returns, you become the favourites, because to go through that level of adversity, win a trophy, stay in the FA Cup, to maintain your gap at the top of the league, that's astronomically good. That would be astronomically good. You'd become favourites just based on, well, how can you go through that adversity and win and then crumble later on? I just don't see it happening. If you get through this period,
until we're 10 points above of City.
no.
Until I see 10-point gap.
Here we go. Here we go.
There isn't that much difference between you and City. They're the best team in the world, but you're only marginally behind them.
This underdog mentality needs to stop.
We're the second best team in the world.
Maybe not, but I don't think there's a huge there's a margin. There's not a big margin between you and City. They are not exponentially better than you.
They are.
They're not.
That's why we're the underdog.
No, you just want to be the underdog.
Let's just work this out, right? How much better than you? This create a scale here, like a metric. So, are they? How big's the gap? Luton to Arsenal gap? Is it that big?
No, not that big. Obviously, more like Spurs to a trophy gap. I'm just kidding. Spurs to Chelsea gap, probably more accurate.
So you're Chelsea to Man City's Spurs.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing. Wallahi, that's embarrassing.
No, that's not 5.
You're sitting here.
Like 7,
hold on. So you're sitting here after winning a trophy with a bunch of kids. Okay, after going through adversity with injuries,
Chelsea,
you was actually picking up. Hold on, you were picking up results while you were playing bad. You got hit with AFCON and Asian Cup when you lost Endo, Salah, and I don't know who else left for that period of time. Then they come back, they get hit with injuries. You still maintain the win. You lose only one game to Arsenal, your worst game so far. Obviously, you lost to Spurs, but we all know that was a robbery. Now you're winning with kids. You won a trophy with kids. You're on 2-3 wins on the bounce with Major League kids. And you're about to be full strength again, because you told us Robertson is coming back, Endo's coming back, Salah's coming back, Nunes is coming back. All these injuries are coming back. Sabazla's coming back. And you're putting yourself on Chelsea's level compared to Spurs. I don't know what to say to you.
Spurs
I actually don't know what to say to you, because you've been the one team this season who's won regardless of who's available or not, or how good you're playing or not. Arsenal played better football than you guys, but they dropped a lot more points. City had injuries and dropped some points, and eventually, obviously, De Bruyne now and Haaland is back. You're the one team that stayed consistent outside of that one Arsenal game. And you want to sit here and tell me that you guys are the underdogs by that much? I'll understand if you don't think you're favorites, and it's okay to be a little bit humble. But if you are saying you're Chelsea and they're Spurs, you need to reevaluate the way you think about this team, because you have the second best manager in the league, and you have arguably the best player in the league. You have the best goalkeeper in the league. You have the best center back in the league, and you're about to be fit.
Who has the best
aren't you on
manager
top?
in the league, Staffy?
I said you're the second best manager.
Okay, who has the best?
Obviously, it's Pep. Why are you asking me?
Who has the best starting 11 in the league?
That's subjective.
I want you to give me your subjective opinion.
City do, but again, City are better than you.
By how much though, Terry?
Yeah,
strongest 11 versus strongest 11.
Why
City that much better?
Hang on a minute. Even if they get 11 players into the combined 11, which they wouldn't, that doesn't make them exponentially better than you, because you're talking fine margins. You're talking a fine margin. So let's just say people think Ederson's better than Alex.
Fine margins lose you the league.
No, no one said that. I'm saying you're marginally behind them. You're saying
you said you're Chelsea.
There's a chasm. That's ridiculous, because you're trying to. That's ridiculous. You are much better than that. So just because Luton wouldn't get a single player into a combined 11, okay? Man United would barely get a player into a combined 11.
We would get
City.
Bruno. He's better than.
But that doesn't mean we're at the same level as Luton. We're still better than them. Just because you don't get the players in doesn't mean you're all in the same space. You're trying too hard there. But I do think Arsenal are
I'm not. They get 7 players in a combined 11.
Wait, hold on. Let me just name them real quick. Alisson is better. Your backline is better. Bar their midfield and striker, I don't see where you're trying to have an argument. Your wingers are better than theirs. Obviously, Haaland is elite, so that's different. Your midfield, I
Let's
don't
actually do
like your midfield
Let's
compared
do
to
the combined
theirs.
11. Allison in goal, definitely.
Allison,
Can I actually give you my one as a Liverpool fan?
Well,
Allison,
let's
Trent,
just do it. Let's do it together. So Allison's in. Left
Van
back, we
Dijk.
going with Robertson.
I'm going with Robertson.
No.
Who you going
100%
with?
Robertson.
Okay. Robertson's falling off.
Ake is not a left back, bro.
Bro,
Ake
what
plays
football
as
you
a left
guys
center.
watch, man? Robertson has
not a
been
left
falling
back.
off the cliff last 3 years.
Okay,
It's Ake, 100%.
I'll give you Ake. Who are the centre backs you going with?
Van Dijk, Stones. No agenda. Van Dijk, Stones.
Van Dijk, Stones. That's 2-2 right now. Right back. I assume you're going with Trent.
Yes.
Okay, Liverpool leading. Midfield. We're going to play 4-3-3.
Yes. Rodri, KDB,
Okay.
Bernardo. Not
So
a
you don't get a
single one of
single midfielder.
Nope. Their midfield
Okay,
is
fair enough.
clear.
Up front, then who plays on the left?
Jota,
Jota on the
Haaland,
left.
Salah.
Salah. So so you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to their 6. So 50% of the team. Almost
No,
50
to their 7, not to their 6.
Yeah,
What?
but that's
Ake, Stones, the midfield 3, 5. Haaland 6. Yeah,
6. Yeah, 6 to 5, mate. Yeah, 6 to 5. 11 players. learn ball, bruv. 12 players on the pitch. So if you can get almost 50%,
see the education in Jordan.
almost 50% of the team is Liverpool. For you to say, "Oh my God, there's this huge gap between the two of us."
There are other factors, Terry. Squad.
Yes, I know, I understand that, but they are not.
Wait, you have
Like
more
he's ahead
depth
of
in the
you,
front
man.
line.
What you're doing, Sam, is you're better at doing it than Igal, but you're trying to paint this.
Don't ever
huge
do that.
romantic-
Terry. Don't do it.
You're moving like you're doing an Igallism.
I'm
gonna
not doing
call
an
it
egal at
Igalism.
all. You guys all say the
Con
best
man.
squad in the league is Manchester
You're a con
City, the
man.
best starting 11 is
But
Manchester
yeah,
City, the
I
best
do think I
defense-
wanted to go to you, Staffy, because I think Arsenal. I think Liverpool, they will drop points to Liverpool, and I don't think United will win. But we're going to live in a fantasy world that that Husam has said picking it up, which means Arsenal go top. But your face when I put this super chat up about Mark Ogden like writing Arsenal off, you sort of went, "Oh, here we go." What do you mean by that?
I didn't say that on this one. I said it on the other chat when.
The other one, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like, what is it your thing with Arsenal fans? Like, do you feel like they need validation?
They love validation. Oh my God, they're like a whiny girl that wants always to get validated. They love words of affirmation. Oh, you look beautiful today, honey. Oh my God, that lipstick looks so sexy on you. Oh my God, love what you're wearing today. You look absolutely. You were the best looking one at the party today. I don't need to tell you that every
in real life, Staffy. That sounds very cringy.
You live in Jordan. We talk differently over there.
That's what Staffy does at the parties. That's my man single.
I don't go to parties because I don't.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I'm not saying that's what I do. I'm saying that's what they want. Listen, I could have been talking in a world where someone is married and telling their wife that. But hold on, let me be for real right now. They just love affirmations, bro. They always remind you. Did you see? Remember when you said this, and that about this player and that player, bro? Just shut up. You guys, listen. You guys are doing what you projected your team to be doing, right? You don't need to go every time and be like, "Oh, did you see what you said about Arteta? Now he's doing this, and that. Oh, remember when you doubted the signing of Rice? Now he's doing this, and that. Oh, remember when we told you Saliba's better than Van Dijk? Look, he just did this, and that." They love that, bro. They love that. You're doing well. Stop going every time asking rivals to confirm what you thought about your team or validate what you think about your team. Because at the end of the day, rivals will never rate you anyways. I go on YouTube every day, and every day someone has something to say about me. They always disrespect me. They disrespect what I say, disrespect where I'm from. Guess what? I'm here every day. Oh, Terry, get this guy off Straight Facts. Guess where I'm going to be next week? I'm going to be on Straight Facts. But I'm not going to ask for validation every day. They need to get over that, bro. You're in a title race. You're doing well. Just focus on what you guys are doing because you're competing with Liverpool. You're competing with City, two teams that have much more experience. So if you actually go and win the title, good job. First of all, I actually want you guys to win the title. Let me clear that because people don't understand that. I spoke with Troops. I was like, Troops, I'm buying you a bottle of Henny if you win because I'd rather see you drunk and celebrating than some of these Liverpool and City fans. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see you guys celebrating. So I want to see Arsenal fans win. I'm just saying, focus on what you guys are doing. Stop worrying about rivals too much. I don't want to see Igal on every show after someone loses, reminding us of what Arsenal did 3-4 years ago. I don't care, Igao. Don't remind me every day where you guys were 4 years ago. Stop comparing yourself to Chelsea. Stop comparing yourself to United. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. You guys are doing well. You're in a good. You're in a title race. You guys might win it, and if you do win it, congrats. But this is why if you don't win it, you're gonna get dunked on, because every 2 seconds we have to listen to you guys whine and complain. Don't do that and just focus on what you're doing. You're doing a good job. That's my rant.
I agree and disagree. I get what
you do. It's because you're an Arsenal fan.
I think you're right with certain fans. Igao would be an example, but I do think some Arsenal fans are rightfully frustrated. I see you get frustrated about certain things on Twitter, Staffy, when you see, for instance, you'll see some stats thrown out about Bruno Fernandes and people say, great game. You're like, what's happening to football? It frustrates you. It's the same difference for Arsenal fans when they tune in to watch ESPN that they pay for and they're told no chance of winning, definitely going to get beat by City, and it's sort of glazed over. Talk Sport on Monday, it was the most shameless stuff I've ever seen. Arsenal smashed Newcastle, they're in great form, and the punditry was literally, yeah, but City are probably going to win the league, so why does it matter? And it was just, it weren't even talking about the football, talking about how well they play. That element, I don't think is validation. That is wanting to hear genuine analysis of your football team. When they beat Liverpool, it took 2 days for the pundits to start speaking about the actual football that Arsenal played. That element is fair, because if Man United start being a good football team again, if I'm tuning into Match of the Day here in the UK, or I'm watching Sky Sports, or whatever channel it is, I want to hear it broken. Now, it's not about I need to agree with everything they say, but it's the way I think Arsenal were just disregarded. And as I said earlier, I've praised Liverpool, even in the show. No one calls me a Liverpool simp. When I turn around and I think you're this, I think you're that, I think you might become favourites. But if I turn around and go, oh, Arsenal might challenge this year, it's met with venom. I've never seen anything like it. And I've been doing this a long, long time. So I think there's a mixture, a bit like we were saying earlier, like it's not, a bit like we spoke with Man United. Some Man United fans are going at Rashford because of their love of Martial. Some are doing it because they want to win the debate. Some are doing it because they're genuinely upset with him. I think there's a mixture of Arsenal fans. Some definitely want validation. Others, I think they just want fair analysis. And predominantly they want it from the professionals. I don't know what it's like in the States. But here, like, people pay a lot of money to watch these football shows because they're all on subscription-based channels, most of them barring the BBC. It's hundreds of pounds a month. And you tune in and you go, right, well, I'm looking forward to the post-game analysis. I'm waiting to see what they say. When they just brush over a really good performance and go, it's irrelevant, really, because they're not going to win the league, I understand why a Gooner would be frustrated with that. Like, I really do, because it would annoy me if it was Man United. But there are some out there that...
talk your shit when you win. That's how it works.
Yeah,
when you talk your shit, that's just how it is.
This here says that, Staff, I understand where you are coming from as on Arsenal. We needed validation on... because we've never been title contenders twice and have a good squad. Get this Staffy guy off the show, Terry, with laughing emojis. Yeah, there we go. Staffy, Staffy's issue is his arrogance. He thinks he knows football, yet he thinks Basuma plays the single pivot better than Rice, who played the single pivot for us more than the double with Jorginho.
Let me tell you something about arrogance, since you want to call me arrogant. So I know
Dunk on his head, Papaya.
The arrogance is that every time I come on this panel, you send the same super chat to talk about Bissouma and Rice. Every time I'm here, you want to bring up Rice and Bissouma. I'm sorry?
Can you admit you're wrong?
No, I'm not wrong. And listen, I'm gonna keep saying it since you want to bring it up every time. Apparently, can you let me dunk on Aya real quick, please? Because if you was just in a super chat, I don't give a shit what you think about Aya. Anyways, Aya, every time I'm here, you bring up Rice and Bissouma. Clearly, you're more arrogant than me because you can't live every day knowing that I don't rate Rice the same way I rate Bissouma in that position. You don't have to agree with me, but you, for some reason, can't move on. So I'm not sure who's really arrogant here because you want to force your opinion on me. But it's a bit odd if you ask me, Aya. It's a bit odd. And yes, I still stand by it. I don't think Rice is the best.
Wrong and strong. Let's go. Typical
wrong
stuff.
and strong. No sensible manager would pick Trent after seeing Bradley or rubbish Stones over Konate. Terry, why you never asked Liverpool fans why they don't want Gerrard?
As manager, of course I don't want Gerrard as a manager.
He's not good enough.
Yeah,
I don't think just like his playing career, underwhelming. in the
Oh
end.
my God, you love taking shots.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Underwhelming achievements.
Not underwhelming at all. Not underwhelming at all.
No won the league.
Big up Gerard. Kept Liverpool relevant for 20 years. Some things you can't ever buy, man. He's the reason why we have a global fan base.
He'd
Third
rather
in the
Paul
Ballon
Scholes
d'Or,
his,
3
he'd
times
rather,
World
he'd rather
11.
Paul Scholes his medals. I'm telling you now.
Doesn't matter.
There we go. Look, viewers, I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. Please go and subscribe to the squad. Trust me, when this podcast starts landing, it's going to explode. It's going to blow up the internet. It's one of the best things I've ever been involved with. Get subscribed to the channel now, though. Scan that QR code on the screen. Get it turned on. Get it ready. There's some shorts and other small bits of content that's going out on there. Go and get that done. Husam, Staffy, always a pleasure, boys, to share the screen with you. Until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.